I'm gonna tell you a scary story. A few years ago, there was this person named Alex Schneider. They were a music major loner that went to Middle Tennessee State University. Although they were a paranoid person, they still rather lived alone, not usually going out to hang with others, nor exactly interacting with people unless necessary. The only exception is if someone stalks them first and strikes up a conversation with them. Every day was the same: get up, eat breakfast alone, walk to class, and when classes end, go home. But then eventually, the loneliness caught up to them after 1 year in solitude, and they decided to attempt to make friends the next year. They participated more in group activities and even signed up for clubs when they had free time. One of those clubs was the Creative Writing Club, where eventually they made a small yet close group of friends where they spent time together in and out of school. Soon after, someone in the group introduced a new person. His name was Tatum Mitchell, a skinny, below-average guy that they've seen around campus. They've always felt something off about him, but they brushed it off, thinking it's just because they didn't know him well. After all, nobody in the group had said anything about it. A while after, they got to know each other better, eventually building a bond that both parties interpreted differently. Tatum practically grew obsessed with Alex, wanting to spend more time with them, finding out where Alex studies, Alex's favorite foods, etc. Alex, on the other hand, saw him more as a close friend, wanting nothing more. At first, Alex thought it was sweet, never questioning where he got the information, assuming he just asked his friends. One night, after their friends had left Tatum's party, he decided it was the best time to make a move. Alex was flattered, yes, they really were, but they didn't feel the same and tried to articulate it in the most respectful way possible. Tatum was heartbroken and pleaded for them to give them one chance. Alex was understandably uncomfortable and left. Tatum was outraged, but he kept it bottled up within himself. Both still showed up to meetups with their friends, but there was an obvious tension between them. Neither of them exactly brought it up with their friends, except Alex did confide in their friend about it. With the overwhelming feeling of being uncomfortable, Alex ended up trying to avoid him at all costs, not seeing the group whenever Tatum is present, but he always seemed to be everywhere. Wherever Alex may be, they always catch a glimpse of him, but when they do a double take, he's gone. Obviously, they became uncomfortable, but maybe they were just seeing things. Maybe he wasn't really there and they were just hallucinating. They shook off the feeling of being watched constantly. Alex didn't want to live the way they did before, locking themselves in their home for hours on end, so they didn't let their overthinking get the best of them. But one day, when they came home from seeing their friends, the house felt off. It was even more quiet than what it was usually like. They tried to forget it and go to their room, where they finally relaxed and the house felt cozy again. They drifted off to sleep without a care in the world. Next morning, they looked into their fridge to find something to snack on and went to grab the black styrofoam box that felt lighter than the night before. This happened multiple times in the span of 2 months. Almost every night, there would be some food missing, from the pantry to the fridge. But everything was too little for Alex to notice, so it wasn't much of a problem for them. Time passed and things changed. Things would be where they weren't supposed to be. Random half-empty cups on the counter, the remote oriented the wrong way, and chairs pulled out. Alex became more paranoid, questioning whether it was they who did it the night before, but not remembering, or if it was something more menacing. But nonetheless, it wasn't a big enough deal for intervention. One night, Alex went to the kitchen for a glass of water. Eyes still blurry from just waking up, they saw a figure lurking around the corner. Alex's heart dropped, but looked back up and it was gone. maybe a fragment of their imagination. This neighborhood was too safe to have any dangerous break-ins. They've also never had a paranormal encounter in this home, and they've lived there for a long time by that point. They quickly grabbed a water bottle instead and jolted to their room and locked their door. Eyes staring at the ceiling and sheets up to their chin, they feel pressure in their chest and eyes, and tears roll down their cheek. They ended up falling asleep. The next day, they told their friends about what they saw, but everyone, including Alex, joked about it instead. The next night, though, while inside washing the dishes, they notice a figure watching the house. They slowly maneuver around the furniture to look through the window, where they saw Tatum just standing there, watching. After 2 minutes of blank staring, he turned around and left. Alex turned off all the lights and messaged her friend, but got no response. Locking all the doors in the home, they went to sleep early to forget this all ever happened. During Alex's sleep, they were interrupted by a thud sound. Still shocked them, but they assumed it was one of their belongings falling off the counter. But it all felt strange. In the dark, now chilly room, the moonlight shined through the window, an even deeper feeling of being watched. They lay down and tried not to look around, but they rolled over in their bed with their covers over their head and peeked a bit. They look in front, nothing. Along the floor, empty but some dirty laundry that laid around. The door or drawer, the end of the bed, nothing. Underneath Alex's heavy breathing and beating heart, a subtle shuffle can be heard from the closet. They look up and see two cold eyes staring back with a pale face peeking through the crack of the closet. A few days later, Alex wasn't to be seen by anyone, never showing up to classes, club meetings, invites to birthday parties, anything. Never responding to calls nor text messages. Alex Schneider was reported missing on April 11th, 2017. Both Alex and Tatum Mitchell were to never be seen again.